So I'm going to start out just in a relaxed, long, loose rein. Notice that Zack couldn't care less. He is very mellow today. It's been about 2 weeks, maybe longer, since I've ridden Zack. It's got to be longer because I probably rode him 2 or 3 times in January, and it's now February 3rd. So you can see he's pretty easygoing guy most of the time. I mean, he's in his Zach's personality is I might call him a little bipolar. Not really, but he has a very kind of lazy side, and then he can get hot. But it's a type of hotness that is good. It's just energy for the job. When he was younger, he was definitely more spicy. And really, when he's in his comfort zone, he's pretty lazy. Normally, I ride him with a whip and spurs. The spurs, just because he doesn't like to always listen to my leg, and I like horses that are more sensitive off my leg. So, I've let him walk around on a loose rein. He likes that. He's a long horse. He likes being long. Now, I will slowly begin to ask of him. In this case, I am just going to ask him to move forward into the contact. Now, one of the struggles that Zack has, that we always are working with, is he'll get tense in his back. And so his walk will go from being a nice 4-beat walk, which it is a nice 4-beat walk, to becoming quite pacey if I collect him too much. So that is something that I'm always trying to feel for when my pushing him forward begins to make him tight and tense in the back and not stay through and fluid in his back. And I can feel it immediately when he goes to the 2-beat pacey walk. But right now he's pretty good, and I will probably leave him in this frame while I work him at the trot, because he's just, like I said, he hadn't been ridden in 3 weeks. He's had kind of a lazy winter. Oh, I think we have some business to take care of. Okay, Zack Attack. Let's get to work a little bit. So the first thing I feel is that when I put my leg on him, he's not exactly listening. So we are going to work on transitions. And that was what our plan was to work on today anyway, was transitions, but I can tell he's not very sharp off my leg. So I put my leg on, and he took a lot of time to react. So what we're going to do, we'll let him trot around for a minute, and then we're going to go back to the walk and work on that reaction to my leg. And that may be all we do today, is work on him accepting and listening to my leg. Now, a lot of times when we're struggling with horses going forward, one of the things we think is, we just need to put more leg on him. We just need to put more leg on him. Oh, there's the spice. That's not necessarily the case. In this case, now you can feel that pacey walk that just got started. So when a horse is not listening to your leg, you're better off working on a transition. So like walk to trot. They will get forward once they accept your leg and move on. So I put my leg on. He thought about it. That was better. It was better than the first time. Like I said, I'm not fussing with his face. I don't care really where his head is. I'm just working on him listening to my leg. Oh my gosh, I think we have a lot of bad humors to get out of our system. Including that one that came from over there. That corner where he scooted off, that's the boogeyman corner. Whew. So again, a good reason to leave a horse with their neck long is all this cleaning out of his air passageways once he got trotting. He's sneezing, kind of just blowing out a little bit. It's always a good thing. Okay, let's go back to the walk. That was a better walk out of the downward transition, but I have to be careful because if I start using my contact too much, he will tense up. But I want the hind legs to just get a little more active. So, very light little taps where he's now, you can look at his ears, he's thinking about what I'm doing up here. Okay, and that was a lot less hesitation in reaction to my leg. Now, one thing about Zack is he's really long, so he can get on his forehand pretty easily, and I have to be careful when I'm pushing him forward that I'm not just running him onto his forehand. Okay. Now, okay, I actually liked that downward transition more than the previous downward transition because his hind end stepped into his front end, if that makes sense. That is a really key thing. You don't want them to just shut down in the back end. Oh, that was much easier. And he's really forward now all of a sudden. So that's awesome. Once he's forward, I can begin to have a little bit more interaction with his mouth. Again, I'm not shortening him. Oh, he's listening for that. So right there was where I did my previous transition, and he was anticipating it. Don't ever underestimate how smart these horses are, especially when it comes to getting out of work. They're like humans. Now, he's quite stiff in his mouth. You can kind of maybe see it, but I'm having to really be a little stronger with my hand than I would like to get him to listen to what I'm asking for, which is a little bit of shape in his neck, and for him to pay attention to me. He's all of a sudden very interested in the horse that came in the ring. So now we're dealing a little bit with the fact that this horse goes from being completely dead to having all sorts of activity going on in his brain. He's pretty smart. Okay, that was a pretty good walk transition, but we're working right now on having that walk stay 4-beat because he can get pacey so easily. Now, he is not paying a whole lot of attention to me. He's more interested in what Honor's doing, and when she starts lunging that young horse, he will be really interested in what she's doing because she's likely to. I will try to keep his attention because this is the first day back after a long hiatus. He is usually pretty ADD, so like hard to keep his mind on the job. That's when I use a little contact to sort of remind him. So right here I'm using a little left outside rein to remind him that I'm what he should be paying attention to. Oh, that was pretty good. And he kind of came through his back. I mean, he's easy to get round. That's never an issue. If anything, it's you kind of try to not work too much on the front end while you're thinking about the back end, because he will curl up. I am thinking a lot about what he feels like in my hand. And to be honest with you, he feels a little dead in his mouth. And what I mean by that is, hey, so I don't know if you saw, but he really slowed down. And I don't want him to take advantage of me having a communication with his mouth to stop moving behind. Okay, now we're a little more connected. But what I'm feeling is that when I use my inside rein, like right now, it's like it's dragging. He's a little resistant. Christmas, you're going to have to move. Okay, so there I got a little better feel from him, a little more reaction on the outside rein. And so then I'll try the inside rein. And I'm not getting much off my inside leg. Yeah, so the inside rein and the pressure with my inside leg to push his hind end over, there he goes. Met with a little resistance at first. Okay, yep, I still have my nice reaction to my leg in terms of forward. And that's really the big thing here. So, now I'm starting to think a little bit more about his balance and really thinking about whether he is traveling on four legs. And what I mean by that is that he's not leaning to the inside more or pulling on the outside. So, just fool with him a little bit here. So there he just wanted to stop. Looking for an opportunity. Okay. Now again, he might be a little bit disappearing in the contact, but I definitely feel like we're communicating. Now, one of the things that Zack likes to do is if I do too much with my contact, he will begin to bounce on the bit. And that creates its own set of problems because, yeah, there he goes, a little bit bouncing on the bit. So I'm going to shorten my reins a little bit and transition and really think, do I have a 4-beat walk? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Yeah. Counting frequently helps your body relax, which in turn helps the horse relax. Okay, so, hey, that was good. Pretty happy with that. Oh, but there he went, trying to disappear out of the contact. And he's getting a little skippy. I don't know if you can, and that is just sort of a lack of rhythm. So again, something important for us to work on. Does he stay connected to both reins through the turn? It's okay. Not the best, but not terrible. And what I want him to take the bit enough that it's like he's holding my hand. I don't want him to pull on me. I don't want him to lean on my hand. But I don't want nothing. So that feeling right there is what I want. And it's maybe a hair heavy, but we're not in a collected trot. We're just working on a working trot. And I'm really just trying to focus on the rhythm and the connection. Because very quickly he can start to hide. Even if it's for a moment. Like right there, he's chomping on the bit and hiding a little bit. Okay, I have to take a break.